Hello, Janie Morris here. Hope you're having an absolutely fabulous day or night, wherever you're watching this from right now. I wanted to jump on and have a little bit of a chat about the art of manifestation. And the reason that I wanted to do that, sorry, just getting comfortable, I've been sitting with a client for a while. The reason I wanted to do that is that I've just taken a new client through my very simple 6-step process of helping them with some blocks that they've got on a subconscious level and transforming those blocks into a space for them where they now are cleared and that they are now in more of a strong manifestation in their life for what they really want in their life, that these blocks subconsciously were stopping. It was a very exciting process. And the reason I wanted to share with you is that she said to me at the end of it, and she's given me permission to say this, she said to me at the end of it, I can't believe that it was so quick and so simple and how I'm feeling right now. Now, I did remind her that things are going to shift and move consciously and subconsciously over the next few days as a direct result of the process that I just took her through. And so just to, relax in it and just be mindful of different things that happen now in her life, personally, physically, mentally, emotionally, and also financially, which is where her main block was. And then when we stopped the session, and before and she said something to me in regards to, I've heard about you, Janie, and in the past being a really good manifester yourself. And I'm so grateful that today I've been able to experience that process with you that you've developed, and how quick and easy it was. So thank you very much. And then the session ended. So that's the reason I've jumped on, because it had me thinking, the comment that she made. I've had a lot of people in my life over the years say to me, especially my girlfriends, my close-knit girlfriends who know me really well and have known me for a very long time, have often said to me, oh, you're the great manifester, Janie. Like, you just seem to be able to manifest things and so on and so forth. Now, I've processed that because at times in my life, when I look in the past, I have manifested some great things in my life. Equally, I have also manifested things not so good, which speaks to the fact that what you think comes about as well. So it's not just about, I believe in myself, I'm manifesting this, I'm manifesting all this abundance. If you are having a bad day, or if you're in a down moment, or if life seems to be getting very overwhelming, then you can also mentally, subconsciously and consciously manifest in your life a not so good experience, for instance. So I just wanted to speak really quickly on 2 instances that came up that were very positive in my life, that now upon reflection, I see that they were just simply manifested as a direct result of the way that I was thinking at the time, the way that the beliefs that I had within myself, and the subconscious beliefs and self-confidence that I had of wanting to have these manifestations. First example, very quick. Many years ago, I had the great fortune to live and work in America. I was very blessed. I got headhunted to work with this major company in America. It was a great time. And whilst I was there, I was introduced, I had started my personal development journey for myself. And I was introduced to the works of a gentleman by the name of Mr. Jim Rohn. Now, by way of introduction, I was introduced through, this is how far back it is, by his tapes and his books. And so whenever I was driving to work or whenever I was out on my run, I would listen to his seminars and his conferences, and I'd read his books, and I embodied a lot of his work. And I remember I knew somebody in America at the time who had had occasion previously to actually work with Jim Rohn. Tony Robbins, for instance, he started his whole journey working for Jim Rohn. And this other individual, he also did the same. And I said to him, you know what? One night he and I were having dinner, and I said to him, you know what I would really love? I'm going to put it on my vision board, because I used to do a lot of vision boards. I'm going to put a picture of Jim Rohn and me. I'm going to cut it out next to it. I would love to work to shadow Jim Rohn for 12 months and learn from him more, so that I can embody that, so that I could bring that into the trainings that I do, the personal development trainings that I do when I'm speaking at conferences and seminars, which was part of the work that I was doing when I was living in America. And so I did that. I put that up. Now, fast forward and just left it on the vision board. A couple of years later, I had moved back to America with my family, back from America with my family to Australia, and living on the Gold Coast in Queensland, fabulous place. It was a transition to coming back to hometown. And this friend of mine that I had had dinner with that night was coming over to Australia for a holiday. So I went to the airport to pick him up. And it was an international flight. And so I was waiting for him to come through the doors. And finally I saw him. And I was so excited to see him, big hugs and kisses. And I said, oh, okay, let's go. Let's get your luggage. He said, no, hang on a sec. He said, one of my friends was on the plane. I didn't realize. And so we've shared the journey here. And he said, I think you might like to meet him. And he said, oh, there he is now. And I turned around. You guessed it. It was Jim Rohn himself. And he walked on up, and my friend introduced me to him. And in that moment, I saw that photo on my vision board. Now, fast forward, what happened as a direct result of that meeting, it turned out that he was there in Australia to do some conferences. And one of the seminars that he was doing was that very night in a big hotel, the Marriott, right across the road from my house on the Gold Coast. And so he invited us to go to the seminar, which we did. And then as a result of that, he invited me to go to the seminar the next day, and then invited me to go out for dinner with him and a group of these amazing people that following night. And that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. I ended up traveling regularly with Jim Rohn. When I moved back to America again to work again, I had lots of occasions to travel with him. I spent a lot of holidays in Australia and in America with him. I had the great opportunity. He opened up his homes in Palm Springs and Beverly Hills, and for me, anytime I wanted to use them, which I did, sometimes he was there, sometimes he wasn't when I was living in America. And I had great personal private dinners with him where he would just always share. And I manifested that. I was so grateful. So that was example number one. Example number two. A couple of years ago, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, I saw, actually it's longer than that. Oh, it's 15 years ago. Sorry. I saw this beautiful, amazing picture of this home on this beach. And I always wanted to live on the beach. I ended up having that home with my ex-partner, but that's not the manifestation. Here's the manifestation. As a direct result of me fleeing that domestic abusive relationship, I ended up in what they call a safe house because of the concerns for my safety from my ex-partner at the time. And once all of the legal side of things finished, and I was deemed to be okay to sort of go back out in public again, I wanted to move from this little safe house, which is a very tiny little place, but it was on and near the beach. I wanted to move into a nice new little home. And so I remember I was sitting that night in the lounge room and I Googled a place to move to. And I had the full description in my mind. It had to be on the beach. It had to be light and airy. It had to be at a price I could afford. It had to be a place that I just felt so happy and joyful in. And I clicked the dials on the computer of what I was looking at for that had these properties. And immediately up came a property that I looked at and I thought, I recognize that. And then I read the description. The description was exactly what I had asked for and at exactly the price that I wanted at. And then I looked at the picture again, and then I looked above my computer through my curtains in my lounge room, and it was right across the road from where I was. And it was available right then. And I went the very next day, secured that property, and moved in 2 weeks. It was the power of my belief in what I actually wanted, and I visualized it. And there it was. 2 quick examples. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you because especially in the times that we're going through right now, there's so many ups and so many downs. There's so much confusion. There's so much going on in the world around us at the moment. There's so much uncertainty right now in our personal lives. So many of us are experiencing good and bad, confusion and overwhelm. And what I'm asking you to do through the examples that I've given you today and through that fabulous session that I had with my brand new client earlier, take a breath. Take a nice deep breath. Settle yourself down into your heart and take the time to write down on a piece of paper or get a nice book. I have several books. In fact, I have a whole library of books and journals that I write in. And just start writing. Write what you really want in your life, how you want to live your life, where you want to be, how you want your health to be, how you want your physical body to be, how you want your mental space to be, how you want your emotional heart to be, how you want your entire family to be, how you want your environment that you work in to be. It may not be there right now. Trust me. Trust me on this. I do know how to do this. Sometimes I forget, and I've had those moments. But sometimes I also remember. And I love helping others remember that too. So anyway, wanted to share that with you. Wherever you are in this amazing, beautiful world of ours, I hope you have an absolutely fabulous day. Transforming Now together with Jaynie Morris. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.